The last time that we looked at Andrew Ditch, aka the Poop Squatch, things were worse than ever. He had been kicked out of his parents' home and was wandering the streets. That is until he eventually found his way to Ohio. And that is where our story begins today. For those who don't know about Andy, I highly recommend my other 3 videos on him, but a quick rundown would be that Andy is a person who went viral online for making his family's life extremely difficult. From tainting their coffee maker with Epsom salts to causing many confrontations with the police, Andrew had put his mother, father, and brother through hell, and they eventually had enough, telling Andy they were no longer welcoming him in their home. His father even going so far as to remove himself as Andy's legal guardian, leading Andy to a nationwide hunt for social services. He would travel from New York to Ohio to seek assistance from government agencies. Only problem for Andy is that Ohio was already wise to all of his tricks. During my last video on Andy, I covered a police report about an incident that had happened in Ohio. Andy was laying in the middle of the street, weeping, shouting profanities, and holding up traffic. This led to a massive police response. And about 5 months ago when I made my last video on Andy, I only had the police report, but now we have the body cam footage. And I gotta say, it is one of Andy's biggest meltdowns to date. He says a lot of things that I cannot include in this video, but if I'm being honest, the part that I found most interesting was the police speaking about the situation, because they know exactly what's going on.
What's up, man? Have you heard about this guy yet? No. It's all fake. It's all fake. He's from, yeah, that starts paperwork from New York. We went over in roll call. This is like from New York. This is what he does. Okay. Just play the game.
He's tried to get resources that way, and he had a guardian. The state of New York said that he does not need a guardian. He does not have autism. And then that's why he came to Ohio. He hopped on a Greyhound and came out here. We've been learning about him extensively today.
And they just went over about him in roll call too, so that's my first time dealing with
it. No, and I tried to make everybody, I tried to make dispatch aware. So once he wasn't getting his way, he goes, I'm going to lay down in traffic. And that's how he got everybody here, tying up resources. Right? The teddy bear, phones, all that stuff is an act. And we know that. I've spoken to Tonawanda, New York. They know him by name. First person I talked to, Andrew.
I gotta see this, man. You guys good? So I gotta know. Oh, he's already in there.
I'm scared you're not gonna help me again. They think I'm fake. They think I purposely don't take care of myself when it's not true. I don't know what to win. And you don't understand this. I'm gonna try to cut it.
Want me to check your sugar for you?
Yeah. I don't know how to take care of myself. I don't know how to take care of myself. And I don't know what I'm doing.
Hey, buddy. You tied up a lot of our resources today.
I'm scared. I don't know what to do.
Andrew, I see you on YouTube, okay? I know that you're from Tonawanda, New York. I've spoken to your father. I've spoken to everybody involved. So, yes, the state of New York took the guardianship away because you're able to care for yourself, okay?
So can I go
right now. So can you go now?
Yeah. You say I don't need help.
No, because look.
You said I don't need help. I'm fake, you said. You said I'm fake.
Here's the thing.
You said I'm fake.
That's good.
You said I'm fake.
Okay.
You said I'm fake, right?
Yep. Yes, Andrew. Okay, based upon everything that we've spoken with over in Buffalo, New York, and Tonawanda.
Are you fake?
Okay.
You say I'm fake. I don't want help.
We tried to take you to 2100 and you refused to go to 2100. Okay?
You say I'm fake.
To the shelter.
You say I'm fake.
So what are we going to do?
After hearing some hard truths from the police, Andrew decides to call his father, Thomas, who attempts to get Andy to calm down and to see reason. All the while, Andy is shouting obscenities and making demands. Also keep in mind that all of this occurred when Andy's mother was in the hospital, with Andrew's own father even stating he didn't know if she was going to make it.
The sergeant said I'm fake! The sergeant said I'm fake! It's too low!
Try to bring it down a notch, alright?
I don't know where I'm at! They put me in me stick. I don't want to be his weird boy dad. I can't. You won't tell them I need help. You won't tell them. I have adult protective services here involved now, and the DD system involved. With the armies and any fate.
After briefly going to the hospital to be checked out, Andy would be taken to jail, something I don't think he really expected.
When will that dance out?
We're not going to hospital stop this situation. Alright? So what I want to do is that's really... Want me to shut the door?
Please help me! I don't know. Did I hurt my head? Did I hurt my head? I can't go to bed, but I can't go to that.
Don't entertain this. It's all fake, alright?
Andrew was not receiving the services that he believed he needed in Ohio, so I firmly believe that this meltdown was a direct result. He realized that he would have to do something extreme to get their attention and force them into putting him in a group home. But instead, they took Andy to jail, and I really thought something was going to stick, but they just let him back out on the streets. After realizing that Ohio only had men's shelters to offer him, he would contact various states seeking assistance. First it was Pennsylvania, but he was not a resident of the state, so that didn't work. And then the same thing happened with West Virginia. Andrew didn't know where he was going to go next, but one thing was for certain: he could not go back to Tonawanda. Not only did his parents say that he was no longer allowed to stay there, but it also looks like the town has a warrant for his arrest. The charges include first-degree misdemeanor falsification, improper use of a 911 phone system, and aggravated disorderly conduct. Then there's a second-degree misdemeanor for obstruction of official business. What you just saw happen in Ohio has happened many times in the city of Tonawanda. Most of the police know Andy by name, so Tonawanda wasn't really an option. During all of this time, Andy was living out of men's shelters and still very active online, even attempting to do a little bit of trolling. First, he created a YouTube account insulting his father in its name. Then he did the same thing for his brother. He was also very active in the community tab of his own YouTube channel, commenting some pretty crazy stuff, like this one. "Oh, scared of some crazy, slippery-minded who thinks a Taco Bell is a Chi-Chung bowl?" It was also around this time that Andrew began to incorporate AI images of children into his YouTube videos. I don't really feel comfortable showing them, but I will describe some of it to you, because some of these prompts that he had to enter into AI had to have been absolutely nuts. His channel banner is a bunch of children sitting around, and they all have some kind of disability, and some of the thumbnails for his videos will be an image of a kid getting bullied by other kids or adults. It's just a little bit disturbing to me given Andrew's past, as well as the fact that he is a middle-aged man, but he doesn't see a problem with it and has been defiant because of the topic on numerous occasions. Andrew would also begin talking about God a lot more on his community tab, and people also noticed that Andrew had saved Jehovah's Witness literature. He hasn't spoken on the topic a whole bunch, but the literature and his terminology definitely points to him having interactions with witnesses. During all of this, Andy was homeless, and he would post a number of videos showing disdain for the services that he believed had failed him, usually from under a gazebo at a park or at a bus stop.
Hey, YouTubers, Empty Ditch. I am on this wonderful swing set. Hospital stopped helping me. They expected me to change my own diaper, but they kept saying I needed that help. Then they said I didn't need that help. Then they kept saying that they would remind me every 4 hours and check me and tell me to go to the bathroom every 4 hours. But then they stopped. My adult protective service worker at Erie, Pennsylvania Police Department is actually getting a court order to go to YouTube to find out the channel names who are going at me. At the shelter, there was 4 expectations to do. What were their 4 expectations? That was go to the bathroom and they told me to change. And then 3, take my own shower when they tell me. And keep myself busy. I just can't get clean properly for some reason. I can't grip properly. I try, but can't do it. They kept questioning me, why can't you use a pull-up for? Well, you tell me why. I can't cope with the texture. They're not made for poop accidents. Somebody claims that they were my aide on YouTube. And then somebody, Poop Squash, Andrew Ditch Poop Squash 2.0, had replied to that person and said, oh gee, did you tell them about this and that? That's where this aid is being looked at. They're looking into who did this to me. I had problems because I pooped myself the other day, and I hid my poop. I didn't want them to help me. What is it? Do I need help with hygiene or don't I? What is it? Do I need help with getting dressed? Hey guys, I think I got dressed pretty well, right? Yeah, my pants are a little, have a hard time keeping up, but it's up, it's dressed. Yeah, I did a pretty good job.
After being kicked out of yet another hospital, Andrew had to spend some time in men's shelters, where he gave the volunteers just as much of a hard time as his previous care providers. He would also continue to ask APS and other social services to assist him with housing, which eventually did happen. Andrew would post a video showing off some new items that he had obtained, but what interested people more was the background, appearing to be a room, something Andy had not been seen in for quite some time. This video would be quickly followed up with posts from Andy, stating that he was now in a group home temporarily until he was transferred to a permanent residence. Andy would also provide pictures as proof. Shortly after moving into his new home, another disturbing trend emerged with Andy. He would begin to talk about children on his community tab more and more, and some of these posts were extremely inappropriate. A Reddit user would also discover that Andy had hidden videos of children in his music playlist. There are tons of these rants about kids in his YouTube community tab, and he has been arrested near playgrounds before. People have long since speculated that Andy has some of these dark intentions, and these things are just further proof. But Andrew wouldn't just use his community tab for this, he would also use it as a platform to criticize his family. I'm watching a rated R movie because Dad lets Joe not help me with parent control. I don't know if this is a good movie or not, or scary, but I watch it now. Andy clearly knows that it's a rated R movie, which he is completely able to view. He's a middle-aged man. Andy also used to work on computers. He damn well knows how to set up parental control, and he thinks in his own mind that he shouldn't be watching this movie. Then why not just don't watch it? This was clearly a ploy to inconvenience his father and Joe, making them go through the hassle of setting all of this up. I've said this before, but it needs to be said again. Andy likes to perpetrate himself as the victim. It's almost like the meme where the person puts the stick in their bicycle and then they blame it on someone else. Andy has done this in many different ways. From the oil diffuser incident where his mother was on oxygen and asked him to turn it off, causing police to be called, to the horrible leg infections he gives himself because he refuses to clean. Of course, documenting all of this and trying to use it as quote-unquote evidence of people mistreating him. But for now, Andy was content as he was in a group home, or at least that's what he was telling the people. It is widely speculated that all of this was a fabrication from Andy as some kind of attempt to troll his audience. On a separate channel, Andy would discuss the fact that he had not been given any housing, and that he was receiving little to no assistance. Some people believe that Andy could have been staying in a hotel or motel this whole time. Neither could be confirmed, but it seemed that Andy was receiving at least some kind of assistance. It was also speculated that Andy could be getting ready to go stay with other family members, as they have been shown to be enablers to him in the past. I want to show you a clip of Andrew from about 3 years ago. It's a clip of him and his aunt talking about how Andrew called the police on his family. The aunt is clearly on Andy's side and demands to speak to the police officer that Andy has called there. His name is Officer Bentley, and he is an absolute OG of Andrew Ditch lore. Officer Bentley has responded to Andrew Ditch's antics countless times, and is the police officer featured in the infamous oil diffuser incident.
Hello. Hey, Aunt Diane.
Yeah.
I called the police on my parents and brother.
Andrew, I only care about you.
I know. Come on in.
You talk to the officer, then I want to talk to him.
Yes. Oh, great. It's the jerk officer that is coming.
Let me talk to him.
You want to talk to my aunt? I'd love to talk. Here she is.
Andy's getting on all kinds of subjects, but he's got a headache.
Ma'am, I know you're advocating for him, but do you have any idea the gravity of the situation that's going on here? Do you know what goes on here on a daily basis? The allegations he's made and how off-the-wall inaccurate they've been? Do you truthfully believe everything that he's saying?
I disagree with you.
Okay, well, the problem is we have more contacts here in the past couple weeks than any other house. And every single officer that comes here, we're talking about the combined experience, probably 70 years of law enforcement experience, are all in agreement. Andy is not being harassed.
It's not about Andy.
What is it about then?
Andy needs to go get his head checked at the hospital tonight.
I will have the firemen come over here and check him out. I have no problems there. But what I have an issue with is every single time I walk in this door, I'm being told that I'm going to be sued and my job's going to be taken away, and he's pointing a camera in my face. It's getting ridiculous.
I did not hear that. I think you were reading into it. I did not hear that. I've been on the phone.
You didn't hear what? You've been on the videos. You're all over the internet.
I didn't hear him say he was going to sue you.
Yeah. He just said it not 5 minutes ago. All right, then you're done here. I'm going to file a complaint against you, and you're going to be out of a job. Every single time. Every single time I walk in here. He's got the camera pointed at me. I don't even know why he calls us, because it ends up just screaming at us and telling us we're wrong and telling us we're violating all these disability laws and everything like that don't even exist. I have a stack of papers that he dropped off at my mailbox at the police station of nothing, of some type of a disability awareness act that was, I read all through it. It had absolutely nothing.
Did he give you the thing from the jail psychiatrist?
No.
Saying he has, it's like DIS and four or five different things.
Right. I'm not debating the fact that Andy has issues here.
You understand what those are?
Yes. Ma'am, I'm crisis intervention CIT certified. I've been through training. I've been through training with Adult Protective Services, crisis services, everything. This is nothing new to me at all.
He doesn't communicate well.
He doesn't communicate well. Are you kidding me?
No.
I know everything.
No, you don't.
All I have to do is go on YouTube and watch his videos. You know, he's told me he can't cook for himself. I called him on that. He has Facebook posts about meals that he's cooked. He has literally told me before that he needs reminders taking his medication, and then tells me when he's supposed to take his medication. He says that he has memory issues. He says that he has trouble remembering things. He has himself on video calling all these numbers to adult protection, to crisis services, to the police department, to law firms. He memorizes all of the extensions. He has them all memorized. That is not a severely disabled person.
You're not getting it.
No, he has you duped. He has you duped, and I'm not. You're diagnosing him. You're diagnosing him. He wants us to come in here every single time and take his mom and dad and brother away in handcuffs because they won't wake him up in the morning? What?
Because he can't wake up to the alarm or a phone call. If I were to call him, he doesn't answer. He needs to take his antibiotic morning and night, but he can't take it in the morning, so what good does it take it just at night?
Okay, so why didn't he come live with you?
Huh?
Why doesn't he come live with you then?
Because I live in a one-bedroom senior apartment.
Okay, so?
I can't have him live here. No bed for him.
This bed's tiny. It only takes up like 6 feet by 4 feet.
I am disabled also.
So are his parents.
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so? I've been here for it. I've known them ever since I was a little kid. Okay, there's something wrong when one single person is making all these allegations. An entire police department and his entire family are calling him out on it.
This clip shows that Andy has been up to things like this for a very long time, and that the only thing that's really changed has been the setting. This is a reoccurring theme when it comes to Andy's activities online. Andy has a habit of responding to people that are critical of him in his comments, so when he discovered there was a subreddit specifically dedicated towards being critical of him, he wasn't too happy. Since November, Andy has had a massive bone to pick with this subreddit. There is a massive amount of discussion regarding Andy on it, and he feels the need to respond to a lot of it. Andy's community tab is a very strange place. Sometimes he will post videos about kids, other times he'll go on very long posts about the same. Sometimes he'll talk about poop, but a lot of the times he's just trying to convince people that he has the disabilities that he claims he does. A lot of the time, Andy will talk about the process of him cleaning himself or having the staff clean him. He claims that he needs them so that he doesn't get rashes or body odor. But many medical professionals have refused to do this for Andy in the past because they know that he is very capable of doing these things on his own, and that people assisting him with these things gives him some kind of gratification. Andy has been in similar situations to this before. He had caretakers and housing, but as soon as they realized that he absolutely refused to clean himself and did not have the diagnoses that he claimed, he would be kicked out. And I think Andrew knows that something like that is coming for him. That this current situation, whether it's a program he's in or a group home, is not going to last forever. So he has been in contact with his family much more, recording calls with his father and mother, claiming that they are still mistreating him because they will not take legal guardianship. His mother and father are in poor health. I believe that the father, Tom, got out of physical rehabilitation last year for an injury, and Andy's mother is on oxygen. Despite them already having a tough enough time taking care of themselves, Andy demands that his father take a legal guardianship of him back, and has been recording calls with his father to show that this is not happening. Here's a call from a couple weeks ago between Thomas and Andrew Ditch.
I talked to an attorney today. I talked to a lawyer today about my issues. I don't have capacity. I need somebody to petition for guardianship to get that set done. Because APS is telling me you're not my guardian. Why did you make those decisions for me? And well,
because Andy, if you remember, Mom and me are your proxies.
Well, according to APS, you're not. Okay, great. So you're saying that you're my healthcare proxy, you're saying?
Well, that's what you put down.
Okay.
Remember when you were medical, the first thing the doctors in the hospital would ask you is what? Who's your proxy, remember?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to revoke it. Because you are not cooperating with things.
Do what you want, Andy.
And I'm moving out of this home because you're not cooperating with things. I have to deal with the consequences for everything.
I'm not cooperating with things.
Why am I recording this?
I don't really care what you're doing, Andy. Why am I...
Because, Dad, you don't want to support what my diagnosis is that every expert has said.
Andy, I never said that, even if you listen once in a while, but you keep changing it and twisting it.
Then why did...
I supported you 100% in everything since you've been in New Pain or whatever they come up with or whatever you say. So don't
okay.
Shit. I never said any of this other bullshit, and don't twist it.
Okay.
I will hang up now, and I will never talk to you again.
Dad,
Danielle and Michael.
And I want you to talk to APS's Chelsea supervisor. Because if this is the case, you're going to tell her what every mental therapist that you have taken me to has stated about my developmental disabilities causing me the emotional behavior issues. I'm going to tell you that is what you're going to tell them.
I think it's about the bullshit, but okay. And did you get your new bed today?
No, nobody will pick it up.
Nobody will pick it up. They gotta pick it up. I thought they'd be delivered.
Well, Dad, it's not going to work if I move out on January 1st.
All right, but I just asked. Do you mind?
Okay, no, because nobody wants to. Nobody will give me the. Nobody will pick it up from me, and nobody will take me for the X-ray. So I'm getting frustrated here.
X-ray.
for my shoulder when I fell out of bed. But I have things I have to talk about, and if I don't get the words out, I'm not creepy to ask, and I will get upset and frustrated. Please understand that, because I always keep telling you that since I started talking in life.
Just repeat yourself and let's go.
And I keep telling you that, and you know that. You know that what caused my behavior issues. You're told that by how many speech therapists and audiologists and mental health therapists. If I have the words, I need to say it first because of my disability. Please help me. I'm asking you to please go helping me fix this. Because how? I'm going to tell you how. And I'm going to ask you if you can please help me. The thing you do is you go to what?
Just checking on you.
Oh.
You doing alright in here?
I am talking to my dad.
Oh, sorry, I'll let you be.
Okay.
I'm out here if you need me, alright?
Are you checking it from what?
I asked you and you told me you don't want me to help you.
I'm still not wet.
Okay.
Well, only because APS was saying that. Only because APS was saying that.
I know, but we're still here to help you.
I know.
Remember I explained they might say something to you, but Will and I are here to help you. It doesn't matter.
That's why I'm trying to tell my dad.
Well, I'm glad that you're very calm today and you're calming down a little bit when somebody tells you something that you don't like. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, when a toddler can't talk.
Don't compare a baby to you.
No, I am, because this is dealing with communication and processing issues. And you were uncooperative with them. And very hostile. And argumentative.
Oh, sure, Edie. Make up.
What about if I tell you this one here, Dad?
How do I tell you our conversation's ended? I gotta go.
Why? You don't like to hear the truth, and I'm just asking for help?
I haven't ate yet today, and I want to go eat something.
Oh, so you're trying to get me upset so you can make it longer for me, stress me out, so you have an excuse for me to get upset?
Things are going great, except when Edie starts talking about this bullshit.
Whoa, Dad! Can we get on with this then?
No, we're gonna skip it for now because you're in a real bad mood.
I'm not in a bad mood. I'm asking you for help and you keep interrupting me and arguing with me and assuming that I'm accusing you of being a bad parent. I'm not doing any of that.
What else is
I'm simply trying to be relaxed with you and calm with you, and you're fighting me and accusing me of shit.
Okay.
And I'm tired of you doing that because you want a response from me.
Bringing things back up from 1992
Dad,
or 1990.
stop being defensive.
And about what we said, about what the cops said about
so why are you being so defensive of this?
I think that Andrew has realized that his father will no longer be of use to him, and that he has almost no shot of returning to New York. So he's not only been contacting his old family members, but he's also been angrily contacting crisis services, as well as APS. Andrew claims that they are cherry-picking times that they provide him services, and that they are going back on their word in a number of things. But I think that once again people are wise to what Andy's been doing, and God does that piss him off.
And I never once made any threat, and you can't use, and I'm not looking to get hurt, and he can't use my right to walk outside and refuse help as a way to say that I'm a danger to myself or others. And you know I'm right about that. Because he did a thrill to me now, nobody here to help me, and I'm in a wet bed, nobody helped me my medicine, and I need help. I know it's not safe to take my medicine on my own, so I didn't take any, other than Tylenol, and my anxiety med with the Benadryl, and my melatonin with my dad's permission and the officer's supervision. But you guys put people in a very difficult spot. You can't just cherry pick. Erie, please can't cherry pick. And you guys said no. And I go get upset with changes. So please don't just do something just because I'm telling you how your job is. And telling you my rights and what your job duties are. And by law, just because I'm making this complaint and nobody here to help me. And nobody here to say I can't run away or supervise me. Doesn't mean you can pick and choose when you do something that you're supposed to do. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
I am not 100% on where Andy is right now, but it seems to be some kind of assisted living. And my theory is that he will not be there much longer. When he first arrived at this location, he was very happy, even flexing on people with new stuffed animals and his room. But now we are seeing an Andy that is more frantic, more desperate. Not only has there been an increase in unhinged rants, but there's also been the recorded calls to Tom and crisis services. I truly believe that Andy knows that his time here is limited, and that any day now they could get rid of him. And if Andy is kicked out of this place, mark my words, there will be another massive meltdown involving the police, which will probably lead to another hospital visit or jail time. But there is a cycle to Andrew Ditch, and I believe that we're just about to enter the next stage.